In a world where one Slovenian is single-handedly reshaping the laws of cycling physics by smiling his way through cobbles, climbs and sprint finishes, one team, one bike manufacturer, one aerodynamic tube shape dares to ask, but what if we made our bikes lighter again? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the arms race of marginal gains, calorie counting, and wind tunnel based delusion. This is the story of the new Cervelo S5, spotted recently at Team Visma Lisa Bike's top secret but also very public training camp, where they've unveiled their newest weapon in their increasingly desperate campaign to stop Tadej Pogačar from grinning his way to another Tour de France title. Grab your tongue wrenches and your ketone shots, because we're diving into every detail of the carbon-drenched, CPD-optimized, tour-conquering intentions behind the new Visma Cervelo S5. Spoiler alert, it's fast, it's light, and it still might not be enough. The bike that launched 1,000 aero dreams. Team Visma isn't just showing up to the Tour de France with some off-the-shelf carbon rocket. No, they've been busy allocating and calibrating behind wind tunnel doors with Cervelo, the Canadian company that has essentially become the Apple of aero bikes. Sleek, expensive, and guaranteed to start arguments on cycling forums. At a recent Visma Lisa Bike training camp, staged at altitude because apparently sea level is for amateurs, Jonas Vingegaard and his lean yellow entourage were seen piloting the updated 2025 Cervelo S5. Now, to the untrained eye, the new S5 might look suspiciously like the old one. It got two wheel frames, a frame, and the same "we made this shape in a NASA lab" kind of silhouette. But oh no, this is a new S5, because in the world of World Tour cycling, if your bike isn't new, lighter, and more complicated than last month's version, you might as well be racing on a tricycle. So what's new? Let's talk frame updates. The 2025 Cervelo S5 features a revised carbon layup, because stiffer, lighter, and faster never gets old. According to insiders with too much time and too many strain gauges, the bike shaves off about 120 grams from the previous model without sacrificing stiffness. That's right, Visma's managed to remove the weight of half an espresso from the bike, which, let's be honest, could be the difference between second and third place in a tour sprint behind Pogačar anyway. But wait, it gets better. Cervelo also claims that the new fork has been redesigned to offer improved aerodynamic integration with wider tyres. Why? Because wide is aero now. Did you hear it? We're talking about 28mm tubeless tyres being run at a pressure that would make your local club rider weep. All of this so the S5 can remain the ultimate contradiction. A lightweight aero climbing sprinter-style tri-style bike. Pick a category. Cervelo, any category. Defeating gravity, one carbon molecule at a time. Let's get to the real reason this bike exists. Tadej Pogačar. It's no secret that Pogačar has been making the rest of the peloton look like they're riding through quicksand since 2020. Whether it's dropping guys on Hotekam or casually out-sprinting Van der Poel on a goat path. Tadej has become cycling's answer to a cheat code, and Team Visma, they're sick of it. You see, when Tadej Pogačar started winning mountain stages on aero bikes, something in the Visma wind tunnel broke. "You can't just climb like that," they cried, clutching their spreadsheets. "You need a lighter bike." But Tadej didn't listen. He just smiled and kept winning. So now, Visma has retaliated. With the 2025 S5, they've attempted the impossible, combining the all-out aero efficiency of a time trial machine with the weight of a climbing bike and the stability of a gravel rig. In other words, they've built a Pogačar chaser. Here's how. Weight. Claimed total build is 6.8 kilograms, exactly on the UCI limit. That means no ballast, no add-ons, no fancy paint jobs. If it doesn't make you faster or lighter, it's gone. Rumour has it that Visma even banned stickers from the frame for weighing too much. Cockpit. The one-piece integrated bar stem unit has been revised to save 25 grams and somehow also reduce frontal drag by, wait for it, 0.0003%. It's now so aero that if you crash face first, you'll slice through the wind like a bobsledder. Wheels. Visma has opted for a 50mm reserve carbon wheelset laced to DT Swiss 180 hubs, because when you are descending off the Galabret at 90 km per hour while being chased by Pogačar and a motorbike, you need to feel fast, if not safe. Also, let's not forget, no cables anywhere, no visible, not touchable, not even acknowledged. Want to adjust your brakes mid-ride? Sorry, that requires a master's degree in internal routing and a team of NASA engineers. Wind tunnel tactics. Visma doesn't just build bikes, they build aerodynamic life philosophies. Team sources say the new S5 underwent 200 hours of wind tunnel testing. That's right, while other teams were out riding up volcanoes, Visma was deep in the tunnels of aerodynamics hell, adjusting seat post angles by 0.1 degrees and switching bottle cage positions like it was chess. According to Cervelo's lead engineer Dr. Klaus Aero-Hassen, yes really, the S5's new seat tube profile, quote, minimizes vortex separation behind the rider's thighs, which sounds like something you'd say at a job interview to sound smart, but apparently it does save 4.3 watts at 40 kilometers an hour, which means everything if you're being hunted down by a Slovenian time wizard. Oh, and the S5 now uses Cervelo's proprietary Aeroflow chainrings, which claim to, quote, smoothen airflow over the drive chain. Yes, even the chainrings are aero now. If your bike's gear teeth aren't reducing drag, are you even racing the Tour? Visma's plan to out Pogačar. Here's where it gets juicy, because this bike is not just a bike, it's part of Operation Beat Tadej. Visma isn't just hoping Jonas Vingegaard recovers from his crash in time. They are betting that the Tour on an ecosystem of performance involves cryo chambers, wearable lactate monitors, 3D printed recovery mills, and now a bike that practically flies itself. They've also paired the S5 with a new position protocol for Vingegaard, designed to get him lower, narrower, and somehow still capable of breathing on a 12% climb. Staff have reportedly measured the gap between Jonas's knees and the aero tuck down to the millimeter, which is roughly the same distance as the gap between Tadej Pogačar and the rest of the field on any uphill finish. In fact, one insider revealed that Visma has created a simulated Pogačar training avatar designed to replicate his power profile, tactics, and even his occasional mid-race jokes. Jonas apparently trains against this AI every day, which is either genius or deeply terrifying. This logic is clear. If you can't beat Pogačar with your rider, beat him with your infrastructure. Will it actually work? This is where we stop and ask the obvious question. Is a lighter, faster, more aero S5 actually going to stop Pogačar? Let's remember something. Tadej Pogačar won Strade Bianca with a 50k solo breakaway, on a gravel, on an aero road bike, wearing white socks smiling. There is no UCI regulation for that kind of energy. Also in last year's Tour, Pogačar lost time on one stage, then won the very next one on a climb Visma had specifically studied for 8 months. And while Jonas Vingegaard was powering up mountains with the help of preloaded altitude chamber training, Pogačar was in Monaco feeding stray cats and still dropping everyone. So yes, Visma's new S5 is light, it's aero, and it is magnificent. But will it matter when Pogačar drops a 7 watts per kilo attack on Plateau de Belly while eating a gel and giggling at the team car? Unlikely. Final verdict. So what have we learned? Team Visma made a space-age weaponized race machine with one goal in mind: dethrone the grinning Slovenian king. The 2025 Cervelo S5 is a masterpiece of modern engineering, all carbon, no nonsense, marginal gains stacked on marginal gains until the bike basically rides itself. But here's the twist: Pogačar doesn't need a new bike to win, he is the new bike. While Visma calculates air drag in laboratory conditions, Tadej is training on random mountain roads in Andorra, bunny hopping potholes and waving to grandmas. So, will the new S5 help Visma close the gap? Yes. Will it be enough? Probably not. Because while Visma is making the world's fastest bike, Tadej Pogačar is still the world's fastest problem. Thank you for watching today's video, and if you're new here, please consider subscribing to stay up to date with all of the latest cycling news, cycling results, and cycling drama. I upload every single day. Also, leave a like on today's video to support the channel, and consider commenting down below your opinions. I'll catch you guys in the next one.